Good evening, here is the Fortunes Global News coming to you on Fortunes Television Kaduna. I am Fatima Hassan Baba with the news, but first the headlines. Peace Initiative launched in Kaduna and Katsina State. Job application portal remains inaccessible despite July 21st reopening date. And on the foreign scene, Burkina Faso drops electoral watchdog in sovereignty push. And in sports, 1,000 athletes arrive Abuja for African Career Championship. Details of these and more will come to you. Stay tuned. Stakeholders from Kaduna and Katsina State have launched a peace project aimed at promoting inclusive peace and addressing conflict in the region. The Building Inclusive Peace project, funded by the UK's Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office and being implemented by TETRA and Tech International Development in partnership with Gender Awareness Trust, will establish community-based peace structures in 6 local government areas. The project's goal is to enhance local capacity for peace building and conflict prevention, with a focus on dialogue, equity, and empowerment of women, youth, and marginalized groups, as well as provide a platform for stakeholders to work together to build peaceful communities. Many Nigerians hoping to apply for jobs with the Civil Defense, Correctional, Fire and Immigration Services Board have expressed frustration as the recruitment portal remains inaccessible on Monday, July 21, 2025, the date it was supposed to happen. The board had earlier announced that applicants who had already started their applications would be able to return to the portal on July 21st to complete the process. Also, President Bola Tinubu hosted Monday morning stating the portal would become accessible Monday morning today. Kaduna State government is fully committed to building the digital future of its youth in order to equip them with not just information, but with technical ability, creativity, critical thinking, and empathy. The Deputy Governor, Dr. Hadiza Balarabe, who made this known on the occasion of the World Youth Skills Day, noted that today's world is fast evolving. In her Goodwill message, Dr. Balarabe pointed out that digital transformation, artificial intelligence, and automation are rapidly changing the way we live, work, and interact. Represented by the Special Advisor on Human Capital, Alhaji Sagir Balarabe, Dr. Balarabe maintained that under the leadership of Governor Obasani, he prioritized human capital development through investments in education, vocational training, and digital empowerment. Katsina State Governor Malam Jukko Umar Redda has escaped unhurt after being involved in a minor road accident on the Daura to Katsina road yesterday. The governor's chief press secretary Ibrahim Kaula Mohammed said Malam Redda was on official duty when the incident occurred. In a statement, Mr. Mohammed said the governor is in good health, sustained no serious injuries, and remained in high spirits. Governor Redda has expressed gratitude for what he described as divine protection and thanked the people of Katsina and other well-wishers for their prayers and concern. However, the presidential candidate of African Action Congress (AAC) in the 2023 elections, Omoyele Sowore, and other activists have vowed to stage a protest in Abuja on Monday to demand improved welfare for personnel of the Nigeria Police Force. Simultaneously, members of the Nigerian Union of Retired Police Officers will be picketing the National Assembly complex and the force headquarters to demand their removal from the contributory pension scheme, which they describe as a discriminatory pension scheme. The retired officers claim that they have been pushed to the wall with the government's unresponsive attitude to their yearnings about what they tag discriminatory. Borno State government says over-bloated local government workforce, about 90,000 employees across 27 councils, is stalling the implementation of the 70,000 minimum wage for council staff. President Muhammadu Buhari on July 29, 2024, signed the 70,000 minimum wage 6 days after the National Assembly. However, almost 1 year after the law, local government staff in Borno were still being paid the old minimum wage. Speaking at a high-level meeting held at the Government House in Maiduguri on Saturday night, the Permanent Secretary in Ministry of Local Government and Emirate Affairs, Alhaji Modu Mustafa, said the councils were struggling with the complicated payroll. The allegations against the United States Agency for International Development (USAID) and other local and international NGOs of funding activities of Boko Haram Islamic State West Africa Province ISWAP, and other violent groups have failed to disappear even as coming up with viable and undisputable evidence of such activities have remained a Herculean task. This is just as both chambers of Nigeria's legislature are yet to conclude the investigations they launched into the allegation 5 months ago. According to reports, for over a decade, accused fingers have been pointed at many international humanitarian organizations and other local affiliates. The latest was from the U.S. Congressman Scott Perry, who on February 13, 2025, at the U.S. House Subcommittee hearing titled War on Waste, alleged that USAID channeled taxpayers' money amounting to approximately $697 million annually, sometimes in cash, to madrasas and ultimately to radical groups. As the 21-day ultimatum issued to the federal government draws to a close on July 23rd, the Nigerian Medical Association has warned it will ground medical services nationwide if the government fails to meet its demand. Its president, Professor Bola Audu, who confirmed this in an exclusive interview with our correspondent on Sunday, noted that the association was prepared to take decisive action should the government fail to respond adequately to its demand. Professor Audu stressed that the association's demands were critical to the survival of Nigeria's healthcare systems and the welfare of medical professionals across the country. The NMA had on July 2nd issued an ultimatum in protest against a circular from the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission on revised allowances for medical and dental officers in the Federal Public Service, which the doctors kicked against for violating prior agreements. And in sports, at least 1,000 athletes from 31 countries have arrived in Abuja for the 2025 African Carriage Championship, which kicks off July 21st and runs through July 28th. The president of the Carriage Federation of Nigeria, Silas Agara, told newsmen in Abuja on Sunday that 31 countries alongside host Nigeria will slug it out in 4 categories of the sport. Agara listed the categories to include the cadet, which would accommodate athletes between 14 and 15 years, as well as the junior category, which athletes between the ages of 16 and 17. Other categories are senior and para-cadet, which would have athletes above 18 years, respectively. And on the foreign scene, Burkina Faso's military government last week formally disbanded the country's National Electoral Commission, known as CENI, transferred all electoral responsibilities to the Ministry of Territorial Administration. Officials said the move will save funds and limit external influence over domestic democratic processes. State-run RTB television confirmed the announcement, quoting Minister Emile Zebo, who justified the decision as an act of sovereignty. To end the news, a recap of the major headlines. Peace initiative launched in Kaduna and Katsina State. Job application portal remains inaccessible despite July 21st reopening date. And on the foreign scene, Burkina Faso drops electoral watchdog in sovereignty push. And in sports, 1,000 athletes arrive Abuja for African Carriage Championship. And that ends the news for the hour. On behalf of the news editor, Balarabi Lawal Zaria, I remain Fatima Hassan Baba, thanking you for investing your time.